He created all that exists. That Brahman, having created that, entered into that very thing. Having entered there, it became the formed and the formless. Satcha, Tyacha, the formed and the formless, the defined and the undefined, the sustaining and the non-sustaining, the sentient and the non-sentient, the true and the untrue. Truth became all this that there is. That truth became all this that there is. They call that Brahman truth. That Brahman is called truth. Satyamitya chakshate. Pertaining to this, here is a verse. There is a beautiful verse coming in this connection. So this is how, in the next chapter, the same subject will be in a little more detail through a teacher-student dialogue. In this chapter, this is coming. The first principle, we have to know there is no creation in Vedanta. Somebody taking something and creating something and throwing there. There is no second thing. How can he take something when there is no second thing? He alone was. Brahman alone was. So the one, in the beginning everything was one, is a truth long uttered by Vedanta, being uttered by science today. In the beginning, everything was one. The principle of singularity is a technical term in modern astrophysics. Singularity, a state of singularity. Only one. From the one, the many have come. And the many will go back to the one also. Vedanta says it, science also says it. So, when we meet next time, we shall study this last portion of this second chapter, a very important subject, the Anandamaya, and then Brahman, all these things come here. And finally, the bliss. This, how bliss is defined and bliss is quantified. A quantum of bliss you will get in one chapter. How to compare various quanta of bliss. Suppose a little bee sucks honey, it has bliss. You enjoy a good meal, you have bliss. Gods in heaven, they have bliss. We shall put all of them in a gradation. That one chapter comes here. How to grade bliss. And something outstanding will come out of that in that statement, that this human being has got all the levels of bliss within himself. From the most ordinary to the most extraordinary is hidden in this human being. If he realizes that truth, there is none equal to him. That language is coming here, the greatness of the human being from this point of view. We shall deal with it next time when we meet here. Last time when we met here, that was in June, I spoke about the Upanishad which we are dealing with, Taittiriya. In that section, dealing with the 5 koshas, the Atman, the divine in us, is covered by 5 sheaths, kosha. This Upanishad deals with this subject. We were studying the various koshas. First the physical body, the physical covering, Annamaya. Then bioenergy, Pranamaya. Then psychic energy, Manomaya. We finished all this and came to the 4th, Vijnanamaya, intelligence. Then deeper than that is Anandamaya, the sheath of bliss. We dealt with this subject last time when we met here. Afterwards, I went on tour and returned on the 10th. Last Sunday I was in Bangalore. I was remembering here, but My lecture was in Bangalore, Ashrama. It was remarkable to see about 3,000 people attending the lecture. The whole hall and veranda outside, everywhere, people. Tremendous enthusiasm. And about 9,000 rupees books were sold. 2 days earlier, in one evening, they sold 30,000 rupees books. So many people came. They were all very happy. The tour went off well. And I returned according to schedule on the 10th. So today we resume this study. We are coming to the end of the second book of the Taittiriya Upanishad, 2.6.1. Here, Shankaracharya in his commentary gives a summary of the teaching that was given, that from Brahman this universe has come. Brahman just thought, being of the nature of consciousness, he just thought, I am one, let me be many. That is the meaning of this universe. This universe is nothing but Brahman. That subject Shankara explains in his commentary of this verse. The answer is Prajayeya, I shall be born. Prajana means birth, I shall be born. I am alone, I shall be born as the many. The multiplication here does not refer to becoming something extraneous as one does by getting a child. Something extraneous. No, it is oneself assumes names and forms and becomes the many. How? Through the manifestation of name and form, nama, rupa, that are latent in itself. When name and form existing latently in the self get manifested, they evolve by retaining their intrinsic nature as the self under all conditions, in time and space, which are inseparable from Brahman. Then that evolution of name and form is what is called the appearance of Brahman as the many, the appearance of one as the many. In no other way is it possible for the partless Brahman to become either multiple or finite. As for instance, the finitude and plurality of space are surely the creations of extraneous factors, like putting up the wall to make space many. Actually, space is only one, but extraneous factors make for manyness in space. Hence, the self becomes multiple through this alone, through name and form. For no such subtle, disconnected and remote thing exists as a not-self. There is no such thing as a not-self in this world. Everything is Brahman only. And so, this very Brahman becomes a universe of multiplicity, only assuming names and forms. Therefore, it is only because of Brahman that name and form have their being under all circumstances. But Brahman does not consist of them. They are said to be essentially Brahman, since they cease to exist when Brahman is eliminated. When gold is eliminated, where is an ornament? Where is a bangle? There is nothing. Only they are names and forms. Gold alone is the truth. And conditioned by these two limiting adjuncts, Brahman becomes a factor in all empirical dealings, in all our worldly dealings. Brahman is a factor involving such words as knower, knowable, and knowledge. In all this, the presence of Brahman is constantly felt. So this is very important to remember. The one behind the many, and the many gets their value from the one. As Sri Ramakrishna expressed it, 0 has no value. 10 zeros have no value. But put 1 behind, everything is value. Take the 1 away, again it becomes 0. So the one and the many are treated by Vedanta in this way, that one alone, ekameva, advitiyam, Brahma. Brahman is one alone and no two. Now comes a beautiful section, the next section, last but one. Asadva idamagra asid 271. Tato vai sad ajayata tadatmanam tvasam akurata tasmat sad sukritamuchyata iti. This is the sentence. In the beginning, all this was but the unmanifested Brahman. In the beginning. From that emerged the manifested. That Brahman created itself by itself. Therefore, it is called the self-creator. Self-creator. Then, yat sukritam raso vai saha. Now begins a beautiful section. Raso vai saha. Rasam hevayam ladva anandi bhavati ko hevanyat kah panyat yadesha akasha anando nasyat esha heva anandayati yada hevesha tasmin adrshe anatme anirukte anilayane abhayam pratishtham vindate athaso abhayam gato bhavati yada hesha etasmin udaramantaram kurute atha tasya bhayam bhavati tattveva bhayam vidusho amanvanasya tadapyesha shloko bhavati. That is the first verse, a very profound utterance which will be understood when we explain the meaning of these utterances. That which is known as the self-creator is verily the source of joy. Brahman is the source of all joy. Rasa in Sanskrit is a technical term for aesthetic delight. All types of joy or delight is called rasa. So, Brahman is rasa. See the identification. All rasa is Brahman. Raso vai saha is an infinitude of rasa. It is because of this aspect that you are able to enjoy all types of art and beauty and other things in life. The source is the rasa aspect of Brahman. Brahman is Satyam, Brahman is Jnanam, Brahman is Anantam, we said earlier. Now Brahman is rasa, delight, bliss. That's the nature of Brahman. Raso vai saha. Then he says, who indeed will live here or breathe here if this infinite ocean of bliss is not there? Because of that, we are living, we are breathing, and we are enjoying life. This one indeed is the source of all bliss to people. Every type of joy or bliss in the world is a particle of that Brahman's bliss. This is a great statement of the Upanishads. Every type of joy. The last lecture I referred to this. All insects, animals, human beings, we enjoy various things. That joy is a bit of that infinite joy of Brahman. You give a hungry dog food, with what joy it eats. That joy in that dog is the source of it is that bliss of Brahman. He has got a bit of that joy through that food it was eating. So, whenever an aspirant gets fearlessly established in this unperceivable, this truth is unperceivable. The joy that you get from any experience, that it is a particle of Brahman, that truth we do not know. We think it is independent by itself. But if anyone gets fearlessly established in this unperceivable, bodiless, inexpressible and unsupporting Brahman, he reaches the state of fearlessness. Abhayam gato bhavati. That is the central message of the Upanishads. Abhayam, fearlessness. Fear has no place in Vedanta. Swami Vivekananda said, fear is sin. If there is any sin in the world, it is fear. Fearlessness is virtue. That fearlessness will come to us only when we get in touch with that one from which the whole universe has come. The more we know that truth, the less the fear in this world. So he says, whenever the aspirant creates the slightest difference in it, he is smitten with fear. If you see differences, separateness between things, not knowing their basic unity, then you get fear. Fear comes from separateness. I am separate, you are separate. Then there is fear. When we know we are one, there is no fear. This is the teaching of Vedanta. All separateness is delusion and fear. When two people, strangers, meet each other, first there is a hesitation, a little fear. What is this man? What is this man? Then a few words are exchanged. We find our identity. Everything changes. Even two animals meet together, you can see the same thing. A little suspicion, a little fear. Then slowly they understand each other, they become one and no fear. So fear comes from the notion of separateness. In a family, nobody fears each other because they all are one in that family. Similarly, when you become a nation, we feel we belong to each other, then also there is no fear. In the international sphere also it is the same. The more we know we are essentially one, then there is no fear. The fear between nations is getting less and less because of the mankind awareness that is coming up in the world today. Formerly it was not so. We feared that, we feared this. We got what you call hatred for certain people. Hatred is a form of fear. So all that is slowly going away. A greater sense of unity is trying to come to the world. It is here Vedanta comes with a philosophy to explain this phenomenon and to show that is progress, that is real human evolution. Human evolution is to remove the separateness between human being and human being and nature, and thus feel our intrinsic oneness. That is the message of Vedanta. This was the subject of last week's lecture in Bangalore. Vedanta and the future of mankind. The more this knowledge comes, the less will be the fear between nations, where one religion fears another because of separateness. Dogmatic, creedal separateness. When you overcome that, among the mystics, for example, of all the religions, there is less of fear of each other because they know the one truth behind all this multiplicity. So, in the world of politics, in the world of religion, even in the economic field, cooperation is coming more and more. We all belong to one mankind family. That knowledge is slowly growing, spreading all over the world. Here you have the ancient utterance of this truth 4,000 years ago, that whenever you see udaramantaram kurute, the slightest difference between one and the other, atatasya bhayam bhavati, from which comes fear. You are separate from me, then I fear you. You are one with me, I have no fear. That's the idea. There's how profound thinking you find expressed in this teaching. Udaramantaram kurute, the slightest separation. Then fear comes. But when you realize that we are essentially one, abhayam bhavati, you become fearless. And the message of Vedanta is fearlessness. In the Upanishad it is mentioned, Brahman's name is fearlessness. Abhayam Brahma. Brahman's name itself is fearlessness. Whom shall it fear? It has nothing else, nobody else there. So what is there to fear? Brahman alone is. So, Brahman's name itself is fearlessness, and those who realize Brahman, or go nearer and nearer in that realization, they also overcome fear more and more. They become fearless more and more. That is the great utterance here. This Brahman is a terror to the so-called learned man who lacks this unitive outlook. You may be learned, but if you don't break this separateness and develop that sense of unity, this Brahman becomes a source of fear to that learned man. Many learned people are full of fear of other learned people. That is how we see in the world, because they have not gone beyond that intellectual level to that unity of the Brahman behind the multiplicity of the universe. Illustrative of this, here is a verse. Asat vai idamagra asit. In the beginning, there was nothing in this beginning of the universe. No thing, no separate thing. So asat means in cause you take a seed. In the seed you can't see the tree. It is there, but you can't see. So in the beginning, none of these things existed. Asatva idamagra asit. None of these existed. Any astrophysics professor will tell you that these galaxies, stars and other things, they never existed in that primordial state. They were all included in that background material, absolutely compressed material. Everything was there as one. Then it exploded. Out of that explosion came an evolutionary process where the cosmos appears. Then the earth comes, living beings, human being, all these things come later. So, Brahman existed in the beginning without any distinction. Therefore it is as if there is nothing there. The word nothing, when you study the Chandogya Upanishad, you heard this truth. And the father asked the son, Shvetaketu, bring a fruit of that banyan tree. Yes. Cut open the fruit. Yes, I have cut it open. Take one seed. What do you find? Small seed. Cut open a seed. What do you find? Father asked. Boy said nothing. Don't say nothing. Out of that nothing, the whole tree has come. There's a language he used there in the Chandogya Upanishad. And he also added there, that nothing which you say is there is the source of all the things of this world. It is so subtle, it's not visible, it's not tangible. And you are also the same. You are the self. Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. You are that self. You are that self, that invisible, that infinite Atman, which is hidden in everything. In that seed also, in the heart of it, it is there. So all this subject came at that time. Then he says here, this Brahman, Asat. Asat is a word which means non-existent, non-being. And Sat is being. And Asat also is the word for cause, because the cause is unseen. The effect alone is seen. So Asat is the cause, Sat is the effect. Because you can see, you can tangibly see the thing. But in the causal state, you cannot see, like the seed and the tree. So Asat and Sat. In the beginning, everything was Asat. From Asat, the Sat has come. There Asat doesn't mean absolute non-existence, because absolute non-existence cannot be conceived at all. Vedanta says, when you say nothing exists, you who assert it exists, you cannot deny that. So, don't say nothing exists in absolute sense. In a relative sense, you can say, this is the language which is reflected in the statement of Descartes, a European philosopher of the 17th century, who said, I started doubting. I doubted this, I doubted this, I doubted that, etc. Everything I doubted. Then I found, but the doubter cannot be doubted. If the doubter is doubted, there is nothing else. That is a great statement in Descartes, but it is central to Vedanta. Non-existence, absolute, is inconceivable. impossible, because the self that perceives the truth of it is always there. You cannot get rid of that self. So Shankara says in the Sutra Bhashya, commentary on the Brahma Sutras, Ya eva niragarta tasyaiva atmatvat. The one who denies that ultimate reality is the very self of that one person. It is your very self. You cannot deny yourself. When you deny yourself, then you deny everything. You cannot do so. So in this way, word Sat and Asat are used. Brahman is Satyam, truth. Agurata, Atmanam itself. Tat means that which is called the unmanifested, Brahman. Then Sukritam, that which is good, well done. Sukritam, well done, the world. That is, the world is well done. Brahman itself is called Sukritam, he says. By virtue of being the cause of everything, Brahman is well recognized in this world as the self-creator. So, this is the subject that is central to Vedanta. The one, not visible to the mind, to the eyes, none of this. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha, we said earlier. Speech and thought are not able to express it. Therefore we say it doesn't exist, but it is there. That is the truth, because it is the self, undeniable self. It's a very interesting point in Buddhism. In later development, they developed the philosophy of shunyata. Everything is zero. There is nothing ultimate truth. There is no ultimate Atman, there is no ultimate truth. That is how they came. That was too much for the people. They couldn't accept it. To correct it came Shankara 1,000 years later. And he said that non-existent, what you call, is really the self of all. Separate selves are not true. Separation is false. But we are all essentially one. The Advaitic vision of Buddha was misinterpreted as non-existence and shunyata. It became unpopular. It disappeared from India. But it reappeared in the form of Shankara's Advaita. Buddha, Shankara, Upanishads, they belong to the same tradition of the Advaitic vision, non-duality. Buddha himself has said in the sayings, there is one uncreated, unformed, uncaused reality, without which you can't explain the universe of many in front of you. He has said in his sayings also. So all this was rather misinterpreted later on, and it all became Shunyavada, against which all philosophies in India fought against, and they disappeared from India. That is the story of the 4th, 5th, 6th centuries. From 7th, 8th centuries onwards, Shunyavada is no more heard. Yes. So, this idea of the Brahman becoming many. Etasmin udarumantaram kurute atatasya bhayam bhavati tatveva bhayam vidusho amanmanasya. The man who doesn't know this truth may be a scholar, but this ignorance will make him full of fear. That should not be. Now another section comes. This whole universe is governed by law. These planets, the stars, they don't deviate from the path chosen for them by the original impulse of creation. So it is called the source of fear. The whole cosmos is afraid of Brahman. Brahman is, as law, a source of fear to them. It's a little figurative way of saying it. Cosmic law is a source of fear to the cosmos. Various items in the cosmos. Bhishasmad vata pavate, Bhisho deta suryaha, Bhishasmad agnischendrascha, mrityurthavati panchama iti. This comes in another Upanishad also. From the fear of that, the wind blows. Bhishasmad vata pavate. Similarly, Surya, the sun rises and sets through fear of that. There is that cosmic law. Peshasmat Agnischa, fire burns through fear of that. Mrityur Dhavati Panchamaha, and death walks about the universe, also out afraid of that supreme truth. These are all law of nature, and law is always what nature follows. It doesn't break the law. So in this way, law is a source of fear. In fact, even a political state actually is an institution of fear. The rod is the symbol of the state, fear. Dandaniti, therefore they call it politics in Sanskrit. Danda means a big stick. That hold a stick, then all animals fear. Human beings fear the stick, so it's called danda. So politics is dandaniti, the politics of law. And law means you must follow that law, otherwise you will be punished. So in this way, regulation of human life is done by law. Law is a source of fear. But the best form of law is what you get in democracy. You create a law and you follow it. That's called democracy. In other systems, others make law, you are forced to follow. In autocracy. But democracy is the best because of that. You are the creator of law, you follow that law. Therefore there is no difficulty. But all cosmic law or terrestrial law, these are all sources of fear. That is the meaning of this statement. You don't deviate from that path. So now comes a great section, a calculus of bliss. What you call, we all experience some joy. What is the meaning of this joy? Let us analyze it. Let us study it. The whole section. Saisha Anandasya Mimamsa Bhavati, an investigation into that Ananda, joy or bliss. Here is an investigation. Very interesting investigation. Let us take a unit of joy, then its multiples we can make. That's the nature of that study. Let us take a unit of joy. And what does Upanishad take as a unit of joy? A young person. Yuva. Take a youth. What a beautiful positive attitude you find here. Yuva Syat. Not any and every Yuva. Sadhu Yuva. A good youth. That is one quality. Sadhu Yuva. That's not enough. Adhyayakaha. Well educated. If you want a unit of bliss, you have to take a youth and he must be good. Morally good. He must be educated. Adhyayakaha. That's not enough. Ashishto, Dradishto, Balishta. Three great words are used. Ashishto, a youth full of hope. Hope is beckoning him to the future. What a beautiful concept of youth. I shall achieve, I shall attain, I shall march forward. All that attitude in a young person is very beautiful, is highly spiritual. A sort of killjoy youth sitting quietly without any energy, that youth is as good as dead. But a youth is ashishto, full of hope. I am looking forward, I am dreaming of great dreams. I shall do this, I shall achieve this. All this kind of thing is called the future beckoning the youth to itself. A great future. That's called ashishto. Then balishto, physically fit and fine, without which you can't have a unit of bliss. Ashishto, balishto, dradishta, mentally firm, strong will. Physical strength is not enough. Mental strength, willpower is necessary. So ashishto, dradishto, balishta, even that is not enough. One more item is necessary. In mentioning that item, you see the positive outlook of the Upanishads compared to the negative outlook many of our later religious literature. There everything is negative, negative. Here it is positive, positive, positive. So what is the last item to make for a full unit of bliss in a youth. Tasyayam prithivi sarva vittasya purna syat. He must have control over material resources in the earth. That means wealth. Wealth also he must have. Otherwise, bliss cannot become expressed in that youth. He becomes helpless. He wanders here and there. Where is joy? So, all these things are put together to make a unit of bliss in this world. In a youth, yuva syat, sadhu yuva, adhyayakaha. Adhyayaka is educated. Ashishto, dratishto, belishtaha. Tasyayam prithivi sarva vittasya purna syat. He has got money, plenty available, whatever he wants to do. That person, sa ego manusha anandaha. That is one unit bliss of man, of humanity. What a beautiful presentation of the subject. Treat that as the unit of bliss in a human being. In any other age, say older age, we may have money, we may have this and that, still that bliss won't be there. The bliss of energy, enthusiasm, tremendous vitality, the capacity to alter the world around you, that's only in a young person, not in an old person. So yuva syat. The Upanishad takes a youth as the unit of bliss in the human being. Now comes a wonderful calculus, multiples and multiples and multiples. There a new idea comes, which is the central theme of the Upanishad. How that this knowledge of Brahman makes you full of bliss, and you are equal to every other type of bliss in the world. That's what he is going to say. Say, te shatam manusha anandaha. You take 100 such youth full of bliss. That will be equal to a Gandharva, those celestial beings. Series of celestial beings are mentioned here, and we all believe they are full of joy. So their joy is a multiple of the joy of the youth. That is the language. First Gandharva, then Deva, then this, then Indra, the Lord of gods, Prajapati, the creator of this world, the controller of this world. All these are mentioned. But along with each one of them, one person is mentioned. The one who has realized Brahman and become free from desire. His bliss is equal to the youth, is equal to Gandharva, equal to Indra, equal to Prajapati, equal to all of them. That is the most important point that is stressed in this section. That is expressed as eko manusha, te shatam manusha anandaha, sa eko manusya gandharvanam anandaha, manusya gandharva, shrotriyasya cha akama hatasya, and also equal to that knower of Brahman, who knows the spirit of the Shastras, the spirit of the Upanishads, and free from desire, unsmitten by desire, akama hata, unsmitten by desire. His bliss is equal to that youth, equal to this Gandharva, and later other higher celestial beings are mentioned in the remaining verses. With every one of them, this person is always mentioned, Shrotriyasya cha kama hatasya. His bliss is infinite, equal to every other type of bliss. Te shatam manusya gandharvanam anandaha, sa eko deva gandharvanam anandaha. Manusya gandharva, deva gandharvas. The divine type of gandharvas are there. Shrotriyasya cha kama hatasya. Similarly, ego pitrunam, shriloka lokanam. Those pitras, our ancestors who live in those higher worlds, they are also full of bliss. But that bliss is equal to only this Shrotriya. One who knows the spirit of the Shruti or the Upanishad is called Shrotriya. And Akama Hata, unsmitten by desire, fulfilled in this life. His joy is infinite, equal to all this. So a series of such people are being mentioned here, higher and higher levels. Devanam Ananda, Indrasya Ananda, Prajapate Ananda, all these will come. Te Sharam Brahaspate Ananda. Brahaspati He is the priest of the gods. 100 Brihaspati's Ananda is the Ananda of one Prajapati, and also of the Shrotriya Agamahata is equal to that. So ego Brahmana Ananda. Finally, the whole thing is equal to Brahma's Ananda. Brahman means not the supreme impersonal Brahman, but the four-headed Brahma, who is the agent of the evolution of the universe. That's called Brahma. So that Brahma's Ananda is equal to this Shrotriyasya Akamahatasya. From youth up to Brahma, series of people are taken. You may not go to the heavens, take the earth itself. People from the lowest poverty level up to the highest millionaire level. Find out various stages. Joy, more. But all this joy is just equal to the joy of one who is free from desire, who knows the spirit of the Upanishads, realizes Brahman. That is the importance of this section. So ego Brahmana Ananda Shrotriya Sajaka Mahatasya. So here is the human being, by controlling desire, you realize your own true nature at the infinite Brahman. When the mind is going out, why does it go out? Because of feeling of unfulfillment within, some emptiness within. We want to fill that emptiness. The mind goes out. A little desire becomes strengthened into a determination to go out. Then you pick up a little joy here, little joy here. That's what we do. All through we do this. This is what is reversed in the case of the knower of Brahman. He said, what? I, one with Brahman, running after petty little desires here and there? It looks ludicrous. Can anything be equal to me? I am the infinite one. Can a little 5 rupee note attract me? How can it be? It is nothing. Now this knowledge is something remarkable. Any human development must come only from this knowledge. All human evolution must come from this knowledge. Huxley, Sir Julian, speaks of human evolution to be guided by humanity itself. Nature is not going to guide you. You must guide yourself. If that guidance is to be true and lead man to fulfillment, this philosophy must help the human being to ask, what is your true dimension? What is your true nature? Are you a petty creature, hungry for this, that, ever going out of yourself? Are you not something infinite? When that knowledge comes, the mind automatically returns. Senses return. No, I don't need. Today, there is need for this philosophy. You are all listening to the world, radio stations, against the madness of consumerism. I want this, I want that. And almost the whole nature is being exploited, destroyed. Then the knowledge comes, no, you must stop. You must withdraw the mind from these things. Otherwise you will destroy yourself if you destroy nature. So even in this highly materialistic notion of nature destruction, you find the philosophy applicable. Don't go out too much to pick up this, to pick up that, kill that bird, kill this animal, destroy this tree. We do so many things for our own satisfaction. The result is we are ourselves suffering. Our rainfall is not there, our troubles are there, water is not there. This is only beginning. If you continue in the present consumerist rage, America is the biggest consumer. 6% population consuming 30-40% of world's resources. But if all nations become like America, within 5 years the world will be destroyed. That knowledge is coming to the world today. This consumerist mania should be checked. If human evolution is to take us to total fulfillment, that is